The tension in Port Charles reaches a fever pitch as Lou finds herself standing at a crossroads, grappling with an incredibly difficult decision. Should she allow Charlotte to visit Valentine in Steinmauer prison? The weight of this choice is not just about a visit, it's about loyalty, family, and a future that could be torn apart in an instant. Brennan, ever the opportunist, is there to nudge Lou in the direction he believes is best, but it's Nina who plays the most delicate, and perhaps dangerous, role in this fraught moment. Nina's influence is undeniable, and she encourages Lou to make the choice that will lead Charlotte back to Valentine, regardless of the repercussions. It's a mother's wish, but will it be the right one? In a town like Port Charles, the right choice is often the most dangerous one. As if Lou's burden wasn't enough, Drew finds himself in a similarly precarious situation. The stakes couldn't be higher. His legal woes are mounting, and he needs to move quickly. Bribery charges loom over him like a storm cloud, and he realizes he can't fight this battle alone. The sharp, calculating mind of Martin Gray is the only one who can help him navigate the labyrinth of legal entanglements. Drew, desperate to save himself and prove his innocence, knows he must act fast, because with every passing moment, the walls seem to close in even tighter. He has one ally left, and if Martin can't get him out of this, there may be no way out at all. But there's one more thing that Drew is determined to fix, a matter that's been eating at him for far too long. Michael Corinthos, his brother-in-law and longtime ally, has a debt to pay, a debt that Drew believes can only be settled with Michael taking responsibility for the shooting that nearly cost him his life. Drew, however, is well aware that convincing Michael to own up to his mistakes will be no easy feat. $1 million bribe to sway a judge might have worked in a less volatile situation, but in this case, it's absurd. It's foolish to think that money could undo the years of secrets and lies that have destroyed lives in this town. The truth, as always, is far more complicated. Meanwhile, Britt is dealing with the fallout from the storm she's found herself in. The friction between her and her mother, Liesl, is growing more intense by the minute. Britt never intended for things to go this far. She wanted nothing more than to be welcomed with open arms, to reconnect with the woman who raised her. But Liesl has made it clear that she is not willing to forgive Britt for the choices she's made. The rift between mother and daughter is a raw, painful wound that Britt isn't sure how to heal. It haunts her, making it impossible to focus on anything else. But there is one person who might be able to offer some solace, Jason. He has always been a rock for Britt, and in her time of need, she may find herself leaning on him once again. She's hurt, she's angry, but she's also desperate. Jason knows what it's like to carry the weight of broken relationships, and perhaps, for the first time, he can relate to what Britt is going through. But as much as he wants to be there for her, he knows that the journey to rebuilding their fractured connection won't be easy. Britt made it clear on that plane ride back to Port Charles that she didn't appreciate how Jason had treated her in the past, and that resentment isn't something that can be swept away overnight. There's too much history, too much pain to overcome in just a few conversations. Still, Jason is determined. He won't let Britt go down this path alone. His commitment to making things right with her is unwavering, even though the road ahead is filled with obstacles. But Jason isn't blind. He knows that in order to help Britt, he must first set boundaries with Carly. And that, as anyone who's followed Jason's tumultuous relationship with Carly knows, is no small feat. He's never succeeded in finding a balance between the two women in his life. The stakes are high, and this time, failure isn't an option. But will Jason be able to navigate this minefield without losing everything he holds dear? Port Charles is a town of secrets, lies, and tangled loyalties, and as each character wrestles with their own personal dilemmas, the question lingers in the air: who will come out unscathed? Will Drew manage to keep his freedom? Will Lou's decision about Charlotte's visit change the course of her daughter's life forever? And can Britt and Jason ever find a way to bridge the gap between them, or is it too late for reconciliation? With every passing day, the clock ticks louder, and the fragile threads of trust and love that bind these characters together are stretched to the breaking point. In a town like Port Charles, nothing is ever as it seems, and everyone is bound to face the consequences of their choices.